I want to welcome you for my Facebook webcast. It's a great thing that I can do this for you. This morning I want to talk to you about the spiritual science of, of the Yogis and the Rishis of India. What is the difference between the spiritual science and the science, the material science? The material science is relatively a recent phenomenon, going back only maybe a couple of hundred years, particularly our modern science and technology. But the spiritual science is a lot older. It is as old as the planet Earth, when beings from other planets came to occupy. So this is the perspective to look at both. Because the spiritual science has its origin from beings who came to occupy this planet, from more evolved galaxies. The spiritual science is a lot more superior than the material science. The material science is still struggling to figure out how to deal with the human body, how to find medicine for the human body. But the spiritual science went beyond all that and then said the body is the problem, the mind is the problem. Because of our human constitution of the flesh and blood reality, and then we have to get beyond that to the light body. And the light body has been the goal of the yogis. Because no matter what, the body, whatever you do to the body, through modern medicine and vitamins and supplements and so forth, it's going to age, it's going to die. The spiritual science is a lot more evolved, a lot more profound, and a lot more useful to us. In this connection, I thought that I would talk about how to benefit from beings from other galaxies and how they relate to us. One being, or one god, is Ganesha, the elephant god. I have done a lot more videos for YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you will see my Ganesha videos, particularly from the perspective of modern science and how the elephant-headed god has this one economo neuron that gives higher intelligence to this particular god, Ganesha. This session, I want to give you the understanding of the Siddhas of Tamil Nadu. I come from Tamil Nadu. And how they use the Ganesha. In their understanding and use, Ganesha is a god who can give you the ultimate knowledge, the ultimate wisdom. And they also discovered that he can be accessed through the body at two different places. One is the root chakra of the lower body, and another is the root chakra of the higher body. The lower body is the base of the spine, the chakra, and the upper body root chakra is the pituitary gland. The moment you put your attention, just I want you to close your eyes and then experience it. Just, it's called the bro chakra, uh, in between the two eyebrows. The moment you put your attention on the bro chakra, in between the two eyebrows, you will see that thoughts will slow down, and then you will feel a little uh, sense of a pressure in between the two eyebrows. And that is where Ganesha is located. This being, Ganesha, with an elephant head, represents the highest intelligence, and he can be accessed through this chakra. And through the sound that primarily starts with while you do that, observe your two nostrils. It will pull the air in the nostrils into the pituitary gland. The two nostrils represent mundane thoughts. As long as they are very active, you are subjected to rational thoughts, mundane thoughts, lower frequency thoughts, as well as stupid thoughts. Once the air in the two nostrils get into the pituitary gland, in between the two eyebrows, then your intelligence changes. And then you slowly move that upwards. The energy upwards to go through different spots right above the bro chakra. And now while you're doing that, visualize yourself as Ganesha, this elephant-headed god. With a trunk. The trunk corresponds to your spinal column. So visualize your spinal column and move an energy. You move from the spinal column, from the bottom of it, to the bro chakra and going above. Now, this little exercise, meditation, can give you more than any other meditation that you have practiced. Why? There are a number of things going on. I can talk for hours and hours on different aspects of this meditation that we just practiced. But that's not needed. What is needed is the experience of cutting down stupid thoughts or low-level thought frequencies and getting into divine intelligence. And that is the purpose of this meditation. I have mentioned before that I have a special relationship with this being Ganesha. And working with this God, I decided to do a course, and several courses now for a year. I thought I would do teachings on Ganeshas because at this age and in my own experience, I have found that this particular meditation on Ganesha is the most productive, the most intelligent, and also it can give you a quick evolution from ignorance and the blood and flesh reality, which is really is the cause for all our sufferings. So if we can get to a level where we are not confined by or identified with the flesh and blood, but with the non-physical reality, especially with light, then we have moved in our evolution. There are many mundane benefits that come out of this practice of Ganesha. And he has to be accessed on the third and the fourth moon and the 14th moon. I have done videos on that too. Because that's the energy, that's the time that his energy is available optimally for human beings to use. The fourth moon and the 14th moon. The moon brings the energy of this being Ganesha. And I have experimented this in my own life, and I have also introduced it in a lot of people, and they have experienced great communication with this being. So what has happened to us in our spirituality and practice of religion is it has become a meaningless ritual or a social thing that where we don't pay attention to the change of consciousness. Be still and know God. This is Bible. But we never remain still, or able to remain still. And then how can you know God? If Ganesha does one thing but nothing else, it will still your mind. It will in seconds still your mind. And the sound is capable of doing that. In the course that I will be doing throughout the year, there's the one course now going on, and you still have time if you want to sign up for that course. The second will start, I think, in June or July. You will find out the calendar from Pillai Center. So this is part of my ultimate teaching. Ultimate Teaching is a one-year program. It's a high-end program for people who have been studying with me, which is a program that not many people can afford, but I thought that I will give this ultimate program to you It was Ganesha who wanted me to do that. Um, so this will be a great program, and I'm quite happy that Ganesha is working with me and to make this knowledge available to you. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. God bless.